Good morning, y'all. San Francisco 49ers fresh off of a 24-21 victory over Green Bay Packers, and there's a lot to be excited about. I definitely want to start with, kudos to Brock Purdy, weathering the storm, literally a little wet out there, and there's something I wanted to see the 49ers do all year, which is kind of win that gritty game, win that game that's not going your way, be able to pull it out, and I thought they did just that. That was fun to watch. That was exciting. I love watching good football. Had my heart pounding a little bit, but they came away with the W. Great stuff. But I have a take. All right, and you guys know I'm not really like a hot takey person. Sometimes I give you guys my thoughts and whatnot. All right, but the one thing I come away with every time this happens is how little trust the 49er fan base has in Brock Purdy. You guys want to talk yourselves into saying that he's this MVP guy. Now, again, I'm just telling you guys what you guys are telling me, like what I'm seeing, and I'm reading between the lines. You want to talk yourselves into him being an MVP. He's this great quarterback. He's this and that. And definitely want to push back on anytime somebody says, I don't quite see that, right? Like I see amazing game manager or, whatever it is, right? It's like, nah, he's great. He's leading. He's this, he's that. But the moment things don't kind of go his way early in games, well, most of the time it does. You got the fucking Monstars. So most of the time it is going to go your way. Most of the times it's clicking and it's clear he's better than Jimmy G, right? Like we know that, all right? But anytime there's a little bit of an adverse situation, maybe the ball is not moving as well as you would like, maybe there's something going on, whatever. The one thing that y'all turn to, and I'm saying y'all, maybe I'm generalizing too much. Maybe Twitter's not a real world, but between Twitter and even on YouTube, all right, the first thing I see is everybody saying, take the ball out of Brock's hands. Why aren't you running it? Give it to CMC. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that that's not a great idea. I'm not saying that it's not a good idea to put the ball in the best running backs in the NFL's hands. All right. But the underlying thing I'm hearing is you don't trust Brock Purdy. You don't trust Brock Purdy to lead you. I can guarantee you this. Whether it's Mahomes, and now it depends on how you view Brock. But if you're talking Mahomes and Josh Allen, and with all the weird stuff Josh Allen does and the turnover where he throws, and Joe Burrow and some of these guys, you do not ever, no matter how the game is going, see on social media fans begging and pleading to take the ball out of his hands and hand it off to Joe Mixon and hand it off to who's a good running back as well. And hand it off to Clyde Edwards-Helaire or the number 10 running back for KC or to Cook. You don't hear that because they believe in their quarterback. They trust their quarterback. It's not going well. Man, our quarterback, he's going to figure it out. He's going to get out of this, and he's going to start letting it rip, right? You never hear everybody pleading and then start blaming the coach for not knowing how to call plays, and he's calling bad plays and just run the ball. Every single time you guys tell me, and I didn't quite understand until I was listening to Haberman and Milcall, shout out to them, and they asked, did Kyle lose trust in Brock? And in my head, I'm like, I don't know. Kyle lost trust in Brock, but the fans definitely did. So you guys can be in the comments, and you guys can say this and that and all that. But ultimately, every single time Kyle comes out and he throws the ball a little bit early in games, your first reaction, I see it every time, is we don't trust Brock like that. No, Crock, you're just making this. I'm not. It's loud. I hear it. It's loud. You don't trust Brock Purdy. Now, do you trust him more than Jimmy? Of course. Is he better than Jimmy? Yes. But I'm telling you, every time it doesn't quite, last night we got on Locked On 49, it's the rain. That wasn't no damn rain. That wasn't real rain. Not until the fourth quarter. And actually it was like fourth quarter and Buddy's drive, and Jordan Love's drive. But early in the game, rained a little bit early in the game. And this is from people that's there, they tell me, I'm like, bro, was it raining how they say? He was like, man, it rained a little in the first quarter. It did. And then after that, it didn't really rain. It was very minimal to like no rain until like very late on Jordan Love's last drive. So stop using the rain. Like, and even when it rained, it wasn't like, oh my goodness, it's pouring, raining. This is a problem for the guys. You don't trust him. I've seen it in the rain. I've seen it in other times. The moment the game does not start how y'all want it to start, and Kyle is throwing the ball with the quarterback, you tell Kyle to take the ball out of his hands and go to Christian McCaffrey. And I'm not saying that's a bad idea, right? I ain't saying that. But it's very clear how y'all feel about him. You don't think he's the game changer. You don't think that he's more than a game manager. You're trying to trick yourself into thinking that because you look at some of the stats and some of the numbers and all that. But the moment any type of adversity hits, the first thing y'all do is try to take the ball out of his hands. Tell me I'm lying.